run on phantom power, and I believe it'll kill the batteries quite quickly in the Zoom. So we'll see. But I'm glad they're still working, as one of them had a lot of trouble with feedback on this one, I think. I had to take a screw out of the inside casing to stop it grounding or something that was causing feedback. But they seem to be working okay, because I was running them through a Focusrite Scarlett, I think it was, to provide phantom power to them and to record to the PC or a laptop. But that obviously was minning out the noise of the laptop. I was trying to put it as far away as possible. So with this, the Zoom, with the XLRs plugged in from the Rhodes here, both running on phantom power, and the camera, it's quite a simple setup, if it works. So, I didn't want to turn up too much louder on the gain, because I'm still in a downstairs room, which can be quite echoey. Doesn't sound too bad, but I'll see how that sounds after production. Editing the video. I'm still having trouble with the A6000 Sony. I'm not sure if anyone else has got one. The video settings, you've got a few. I currently have it at pretty much the maximum, if you will, 50p. In the Sony format, not MP4. And it really doesn't seem to pick up in dark situations too well. And I've had that when I've taken it out, try to record at some events. It's very, very grainy and seems to do poorly, but I'm not sitting up right. I know I'm missing something simple. I know it does perform very well in dark, in stills, obviously. And I've seen better things about it recording. So it's quite a tighter shot than I did last time, because that was using a manual focus prime lens, which doesn't speak to the camera, so it can't do autofocus or anything like that. This is a 35mm prime lens, so it should be able to focus. It's not the best using this camera because I can't see. You have to kind of set it up beforehand and then go back and forth, or be happy with it and then start recording. So that's a bit of a pain, really. I've got a small flash, a Nissan i40 on top, which is obviously an external hot shoe flash, but it has a small set of LEDs on the front which you can adjust the brightness for video or close up like that, which is what I've got it on now. But because of the 35mm lens I've got on the camera, it is, I don't know, about 2.5 arms lengths away, and that's where I've had to put it to get it focused in here with a good enough tight shot without being too tight. So the LEDs aren't really effective from that far away. I need to get a better diffused light, proper diffused LED panel type of arrangement, and try that. But I'm still not happy with the A6000. I mean, I've got Philips Hue lights, the wireless connected lights installed in my main fitting in this room, 3 of them, stripped behind the telly, and one of the Hue, I can't remember the name of it now, it's like a portable globe light that's all part of the Hue family. So it's not exactly poorly lit in here, it's just on like a setting rather than bump that right up. I thought it'd be alright where it is, but it still seems when I look at it on the camera on a quick playback, setting it up, that it's very dark and really does struggle. So I'm just not sure what the difference, what I'm missing is, because I had the A6000 out recording at a nightclub event, and it was quite poor. I think it was because I was using the manual lens that I was doing for the stills, which all turned out great. Because it's quite difficult shooting at night in a nightclub type of setting, takes a bit more fiddling, and that lens with this camera works really well. Switching straight over to video, just clicking the button, didn't do too well. The video seemed to look okay on the playback, but later on, checking out, it was very poor. It was quite stuttery, really quite stuttery, and grainy, and not very well lit. So I'm not sure what I'm missing there. And I'll be doing 25 I or P, whichever it will call it. No, I know the difference, but I believe you do it 25, it obviously does technically have the frame rate. So 50 is usually better for more moving action, which is what I've obviously naturally assumed was better for a nightclub. And genuinely I thought that if you've got the space on the card and the power to edit it later, that the 50p, the highest you can get, the bit rate and the frame rate should be the best option. But it still doesn't seem right, and I'm not sure what I'm missing is. I'm not sure if that's what I meant to look up, but I haven't looked up too much with my own phone. I don't do enough video with this camera, so it's something, or any camera really, so I don't really look into it. I've had action cameras and such instead. So I'm not sure if you leave it in manual mode and you change whatever settings you have set in the manual mode will carry over when you switch to video, or in some form, because I've seen various things of people saying set your shutter speed and things to double the frame rate, things like that, but I think I'm just missing something that I haven't read into properly. If anyone knows, please let me know, because I know there's some really good cameras that are recommended for YouTube for video. This sounds supposed to do great video, but whether when I record it here or in my other room, it's never greatly lit, but it's not dark either, and all the video seems to turn out a bit poor. And plus, as it happened in the last video, I'm not sure why this camera shut off when it did. I know there's a limit to the size on some of them for European recording feature things, tax and all the rest of it, for it being a camcorder after so long. But I didn't even reach that limit, so I'm not sure if it was heat. I wouldn't have thought my fish are attacking each other. There's one aggressive fish which keeps trying to eat the other, and it just ruins all my plans. Anyway, so yeah, there's something I'm just not doing right. So if anyone knows what obvious thing that is, please let me know. And as for my setup, it's always been, I say, fairly simple. I could just use what's on top of the mic. I mean, originally had a Samsung? Not Samsung, Samsung Media USB mic. That was the first one. That works really well for Skype and general things. It's really good actually. And it was supposed to be a record to an iPad as well, which I thought would obviously be a lot quieter with an adapter. Didn't work, or I got a cheap adapter, got another one. It was so intermittent and it just never worked for that. And obviously having it plugged into a computer to use, which it needed, was getting the noise of the computer then. So I still use it for Skype and everything, but it wasn't very good for ASMR. After that, I got the Zoom H4n, and I saw that they were still quite expensive at the time, even though they're quite old, I suppose, so they never really depreciated that much. Tried to look on eBay for a few, and some were still a bit too expensive. It would have been better to just buy one. And then I did spot one that was, I can't remember which it was now. It was really well priced anyway, and there was a few bids on it, and I got in very last second and managed to win it. It was a pretty good deal. There was bits missing out the box. It was very well used, and I was always convinced that there was something wrong with it, because if I ever had it plugged into power, it had a horrible buzz. Whether that's something that happens with all of them, I do not know. But because the battery life was, or it seemed to, this particular one I had seemed to kill the batteries really quickly. It was difficult not to be able to plug it into power, so that was always an issue. And the phantom power it provided for external microphones like these, which I thought I would do in the future, was not supposed to be very good either. So I'll still use that one. I've still used it till recently. But then I bought the H2n, as this was very portable, and it was when I was going away on quite a few courses for quite a while, so I did 1 or 2 videos using that, because that's very self-contained and portable to put in the bag, and very close up holding it. There was a lot less noise than on the handling noise than the H4, and it was very easy to use, a lot quicker than the H4. Battery life lasted a lot longer, so it was easy to just turn it on, do a quick recording when I was away in a hotel, and I could still use it for other things as well. And usually I always take it out in my camera bag in case, so it's very handy for that. And that's when I decided to try some external mics. There are various cheaper ones, and I heard some bad things, a lot of bad things about some, good things about others. In the end there was a deal on, and they had a voucher for Amazon as well, so I ended up getting these Rode microphones as a pair, and they worked really well, but the fan's power not performing very well and the battery's already been poor on the Zoom H4n. I obviously needed an interface was the easiest way to do it, and after a lot of research, the Focusrite Scarlett, is it Scarlett 2i something? Scarlett anyway, that got raving reviews, got it. It's a beautifully made piece of kit, I have to admit. It looks really nice, it's really solid, really easy to use. It's quality is definitely there. Same with these Rhodes, apart from I did have a problem with one, but they've still been perfectly fine. Seem to work okay. You do have to get quite close without turning the gain right up to get the best sound out of them. But turn them too much and it can get quite noisy, so but using that Scarlett external, I'm thinking, listening now, that much cleaner, more efficient power, phantom power, than the Zoom, like an external portable recorder ever will. So it seemed to get a lot more gain without having to bump it up as much. It sounded crisper and clearer and less noise. So I'm going to have to mess about to see how this works. But the problem with that is, using the interface, you have to record how it's recording onto Audacity. So you have to plug these into the Scarlett that's in a computer to get its power. So you have to record this to a computer, and then that obviously means having a laptop running off, with this going into an interface into a laptop, and then the camera separate. Trying to hide the noise with the laptop or get it as far away as possible, cover it in foam. It worked. It definitely worked, but took a lot more effort to try and record a video just by setting it all up. And you inevitably had noise anyway. So I've been looking for something else to try for a while, and obviously this was going to be it because I've still got the other Rode mic, this NT2. I should have wrote all these down. That's the bigger mic that I was using on a boom, extendable boom arm, kind of thing you use when you're at a computer, gamer type thing. But that's a really good sound, but not as good as when these are plugged into the interface, being a bit more directional. That picks up, it's a wider pickup, so bit of a kind of normal spoken or reading videos. That was my hope, or to use these for the speaking portion, and the other mic that would be behind if I was doing a book, so you could pick up the page flipping noises, things like that. However, now I've bought the H5, I really like it. It's a lot, obviously the software on it that runs it is a hell of a lot quicker than the H4n ever was. The batteries, touch wood, have been holding up really well. It's much more efficient. You've got the interchangeable capsules on the top now. I may look at buying. I'm going to look at reviews for the shotgun because I'm not so sure about that. It might work really well for ASMR, but the bigger capsule, XY capsules you can get off the top are supposed to be really good. Or I could also get the module that goes on top of it, which lets you put another 2 XLR inputs in, which gives you 4 in total. So I could have these two, technically another 2, or I could have these 2 and the mic I've already got, to get sounds from another source, i.e. in front of me, what I'm handling while talking into this. I think that'll work really well. How that'll affect the batteries having 3 inputs in. On phantom power I'm not sure, but this seems to be holding up okay, so we'll see. I am recording this and hoping that the camera hasn't died, because you can't actually see on the front of this camera if it's actually recording, which is poor. And it died last time and I'm not sure why or when. But hopefully we'll see how we go. It's still recording on the Zoom because I can see it below me. It's very clear. I really like it. I hope it records well. I hope it picks up these, or powers these enough to record well. And we'll see how that turns out. I think it might work really well for some up close and audible type whispering. But we'll have to see with that. But for now, the Rodes are still working by the sound of it. You can push them right up with the gain. I mean, I've got it set halfway at the moment on 5 on each. As soon as you turn it up to 6, creeping past 6, it was picking up a hell of a lot more, really quite loud. But it was getting a bit heavy pops on these. I have got a shield to put in front of it, but then again you could hear the noise picking up quite a lot. So we'll just have to mess about and I'll have to try it. It's still new. I'll just have to see how it goes, see which sounds the best, see what'll work. I would like to try the 3 external mic, these 2 and the other Rode, maybe, and record all of them, see how that goes. I still want to do a 4 channel with the 2 that are on top of the Rode, and these, mount it on here somewhere. mics are on. I bought this so the Rhodes could go in. That was about £5. You can't move them closer in. I did have one that did do that, but the fittings don't work. The kind of boom arm that this screws into sets them really nicely, but it's quite extended quite a lot, and it's not heavy duty. So again, this was about £12, and it's kind of fully extended, so it's balancing. I wouldn't be able to mount the H5 on it as it is. I think it'd tip over. I probably could mount it on it, but I'd have to hang something on the very end to kind of counterweight it. So it ends up being a bit of a... That's why it's a pain. I've got baby stuff and everything lying about. Other bits and pieces, the dog stuff, and then you try and do all this and you end up hanging things off it, random bits of toys and stuff. So it's a pain to set up and tidy up at the end. It's all good fun though. It's all interesting to try and... I certainly don't have a proper setup. So if it sounds any, half decent, I'm happy. Because, as I say, it's not like I've got a separate room or a basement. I'd love something like that. I can permanently do this and leave things set up. So for me, I've got this tripod extension. I'd set all this up, the cables, and tie them into the zoom, the camera, flash, the other tripod. I've had to pull it all out of different bags because I take my camera various places and camping, recharge the batteries, wipe the memory cards, get these set up, try a few recordings, play them back, listen to them, see if they work. It's just a pain when things don't work. But if it works in the end, I can get there, but it'd be nice to be able to leave this. On a separate note, I got my Dell fixed actually. Yay. Dell didn't help me in the end, I had to help myself. It was absolutely awful. Ended up having to make a USB boot up version of Ubuntu. Boot into the machine that way, forcibly mount the drive, the damaged drive, try to repair the master boot record there, didn't work, delete the hibernation file because it appeared to be in hibernation, restart it, then it let me not boot into Windows but get into the Windows recovery side of things and do a kind of install repair without losing any files. So I'm actually just backing up as we speak. I've got it doing a full backup on an external hard drive, backup image in case something happens again, and I've got to restore. So that's about it for now. As I say, I hope the camera's still recording. The zoom is. So I want to do a quick talk about the equipment and still trying things out, obviously. I know people usually like equipment setups to see what other people are using because you can't usually obviously see behind the scenes. Some people do, sure, what they're using. I've done it before, and if I get a proper setup, I can leave things and then fine tune them. Every time you have to get all this out, it ends up being a fiddle in this, just all the little rattle that it had, all the little noise. Move the tripod, move it back, make sure they're still recording, which I still can't see. But when it works, it's good. But putting it back all together again, you're starting from scratch. So anyway, I hope everyone's doing well this weekend. This week has gone a bit better for me, as in I got more things done than I wanted to at work and at home, and that always makes you feel better when you feel like you've actually achieved something and not just plodded along for another week. The weather's been absolutely terrible, so that's probably why I've been able to catch up on a few more things. So I hope everyone else is having a bit better weather, but being just as productive wherever you are. You'll have to let me know what you think, if I need to up the gain on these microphones. Maybe try something different. I'm going to try the other mic anyway. See how this sounds compared to the built-in XY capsules on the Zoom that I did last week. See which sounds a bit cleaner. Maybe these sound cleaner but need turning up. The other ones sound better, but I don't know. So we'll have to himself. No. He'll come up. Come say hello. What's this? You're not gonna do it yet. Obviously you can hear his tail just banging on the floor. Oh, he's gonna knock the camera over. Well, before he rolls over and topples everything to pieces, I think I'll call this one quits. But let me know what you think and see how it sounds, and we'll hopefully we can just keep tuning it, make it sound better. No, roll back over. So I'll just keep fiddling until we get it sorted. And I was going to do a reading video, but I wanted to try and get these sorted first, see how they sound, and then try to do a closer up video reading. Probably with no video because I can get really up close, try and put some of my phone behind, and try use all 3 mics, or all 4 if I use the 2 built-in ones. So that's been a brief talk about what I'm using, troubles I'm having with them. See if anyone else has got any solutions to what I've said, or got any queries to what I'm using. And yeah, hope to catch everybody soon, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. It's still it's not too late. I usually record these later, but I heard people go out earlier, which means they'll probably be coming back in a state later, making a racket. I thought I'd try and do this early doors. So yeah, thanks everybody for watching and listening as always. Please let me know what you think, and always grateful for the comments and the feedback, and just for watching. So hope everybody's doing really well and having a nice relaxing weekend. Catch everybody soon. Bye bye.